Hey, doing a video on pros and cons on using non-ethanol fuel and unleaded fuel. The pros on non-ethanol fuel is it won't break down and separate like unleaded fuel will that you buy at the filling stations. Another pro on it is it'll last longer. In big boats at marinas. A friend of mine has a boat that he stores at a marina, and it's convenient there because the fuel that they have at marinas is all non-ethanol fuel that you buy there. You could store that fuel on your boat. You don't have to do anything with it, and it'll start every year for you. Unless it sits over 2 years without being ran or added new fuel to it. Any fuel over time will break down eventually. So keep that in mind if you want to go that route with non-ethanol fuel for your boats. Cons, it's expensive, to buy compared to your ethanol fuel at fuel stations. And it's also not available in some areas. You don't have any choice but to use unleaded fuel in your motors. And I'm talking not just marine outboards. I'm talking about all equipment: yard, weed eaters, lawnmowers, chainsaws, pressure washers, generators, all that stuff that is two-stroke or four-stroke engines that are carbureted, run off of gas. That is the pros and cons on using non-ethanol fuel. And then the pros and cons on using unleaded ethanol fuel that you buy at gas stations. The pros is it's available everywhere. Anywhere you go, you can get it and fill it up. Fill up your boat, fill up your gas cans with it, and for your lawn equipment. And it's less expensive than non-ethanol fuel. Quite a bit less expensive. And you only need 87% octane for your outboard engines that are two-strokes. Not sure about four-stroke engines, but my two-stroke 60 horse, the minimum requirement is 87% octane. So you can use just regular fuel. You don't have to buy premium if you don't want to. And then if you're using an additive like I do in mine, that kind of lubricates the engine. And plus my two-stroke is oil injection anyway, so it has lubricant mixed in with the fuel as it is. If you have a four-stroke engine where you're just running just your straight fuel through it, yeah, you definitely need to have an additive in your fuel. And they suggest 360 marine stable for that. So that's the pros. The cons on using unleaded ethanol fuel is it needs a good marine stable fuel stabilizer every fill up, okay, to prevent breakdown and causing engine damage, because ethanol it's not a lubricated type fuel. Even though you're only using 10% ethanol mixed in with your unleaded fuel, that ethanol, once it separates, it sits for a long time, it'll separate from the unleaded fuel. Once that happens, you got that raw ethanol in there, and it'll cause engine damage, because it's not a lubricated situation where all your moving parts are heating up because of the friction. So in order to keep that from breaking down, like I say, it needs that fuel stabilizer, and they suggest a Marine 360. Then at the end of the season, with using non-ethanol fuel, you need to remove the fuel in the carbs or carburetor, right? Yard equipment, by using a good fogging oil, right? And with it running, you shut off the fuel, run the shoot some. Once it starts dying, shoot that fogging oil in the carburetor, and that'll run it through your carburetor. It'll run it through your engine, and then you have to take the spark plug out and shoot some in the cylinder, and then churn your rotate your engine so that your pistons are going up and down to cycle that fogging oil through your cylinder to protect your cylinder over winter storage. All right. So anyway, that's the pros and cons on using non-ethanol or unleaded fuel on your marine equipment or yard equipment. All right. Thanks. Oh, if you like the video, please subscribe, leave comments, and hit that notification bell and leave me a thumbs up. Thanks.